I think although pearlweed can look attractive in the right circumstances, more often than not it leads to an aquascaping maintenance nightmare, as we can see here in this 90cm aquarium. Now this pearlweed hasn't been left all that long. It's already starting to take over the entire aquascape. You know, my thinking here was I'll create a nice sort of pearlweed iwagumi with also some hydrocotyl tripartita. You know, it can look nice and give sort of a bushy appearance, but with CO2 and high light, this thing just goes wild, and you really almost have to do a daily maintenance to keep this plant under control and in check. So, although I don't mind trimming plants, and it's rewarding at the end when you can shape them and you control your aquascape, I think here it was time to really get quite rash and do a full rescape to actually simplify the aquarium to make maintenance long term a lot easier. So there's no real easy way to do this, so I just commenced really pulling clumps of the pearlweed and the hydrocotyl tripartita out of the aquarium. And also, when the plants grow this thickness, it's just a breeding ground for snails and waste in the aquarium. So I think long term it's not going to really create a healthy environment for your fish and for your plants. So it's time for all this to come out. It's a good thing that pearlweed doesn't have a really massive root structure, so it does come away quite easily. So I think pearlweed would be more suited to a smaller aquascape where you're going to spend less time maintaining it, or just having small sections of it in your aquarium rather than massive, using it as sort of the dominant plant in the foreground, midground and background, because it's too much to handle. But saying all that, pearlweed is an easy plant to grow, and it can look quite effective, and it sort of gives you an instant aquascape. And it's rare that I've seen this plant die off or suffer from algae. The plant itself always looks healthy. So here we go, ripping up a huge clump of hydrocotyl tripartita, which is also a very fast spreader and will spread all over your tank in a short time. So I'm trying to be gentle here, not to rip up all the aquarium soil if possible, but when I am removing pretty much all of the plants, there's going to be some soil disturbance here. So while I was doing this, I was thinking about what design am I going to come up with for the next aquascape. I did have limited aquarium plants to work with, and most of the plants, which you'll see later, came from existing aquariums. I think in aquascaping sometimes we try and be a little bit too fancy, which can be to our detriment, as was the case here. So sometimes simple aquascapes, I think, are often the best, where they're attractive to look at, yet they're reasonably low on maintenance. So that's what I was thinking when I was trying to decide on a new design. So yes, I'm motivated because I want to create a nice aquascape, but here it's not exactly pleasant work removing all this, but I'm focusing on the end result, which is possibly months down the track. So after cleaning up all that, we got the new aquascape design down. So I've got only a few plants. I decided to go with glossostigma for the carpeting plant, as I had quite a lot of that already in my other aquascapes, and it was just a matter of transplanting it over to this one. We've got the Ludwigia palustrius, super red in the background, as well as some bacopa, some Eleocharis as well. There are not that many plants, a bit of moss. So yeah, this tank's only a couple of weeks old.